Thank you, Honourable Speaker of Parliament, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Members of Parliament, and our distinguished guests. I rise to fully support the 2026-2037 National Budget and commend the Honourable Minister for Finance, Commerce and Business Development, Permanent Secretary and staff for a well-prepared budget. This budget reflects the government's commitment to responsible financial management, sustainable economic growth, and improving the lives of all Fijians through targeted investments in infrastructure and essential services. Before outlining our priorities for 2026-27, it is important to acknowledge the significant achievements delivered during the 2025-2026 financial year. These accomplishments demonstrate the government's continued commitment to strengthening connectivity, building resilience, improving service delivery, and creating economic opportunities for communities across Fiji. Through strategic investments in roads, water, energy, public infrastructure, and met services, tangible improvements have been made to the quality of life of our people, despite what the opposition is saying, while laying a strong foundation for future growth and development. In the 2026-27 budget, the Ministry has allocated a sum of 820.8 million, comprising 282.3 million for operating expenditure and 538.5 million for capital expenditure. From this total budget, 112 million is allocated for the respective departments within the Ministry, 291 million for Water Authority of Fiji, 370 million for Fiji Roads Authority, 39 million for Land Transport Authority, and 9 million for Maritime Authority of Fiji. This significant level of investment clearly demonstrates the coalition government's commitment to strengthening critical infrastructure that supports economic growth, national development, and improving service delivery. In terms of the roads, before I outline the Fiji Roads Authority's plans and budget priorities for 2026-27 financial year, I wish to highlight some significant achievements delivered during the 25-26 financial year. Despite these unprecedented challenges arising from adverse weather conditions, emergency response requirements, aging infrastructure, fuel emergency, the Fiji Roads Authority continued to deliver critical infrastructure projects that strengthen national connectivity, improve safety, and supported economic development. The authority managed an overall infrastructure budget of 329 million, achieving 89% utilization rate by June 2026. This reflects the FRA's commitment to effective planning, strong project execution, and responsible management. Major achievement was the successful implementation of the maintenance and renewals program for roads, bridges, and jetties, which was allocated 279 million, achieved 112% utilization. Through this program, critical maintenance and rehabilitation works were carried out across Fiji, ensuring that our transport assets remain safe, functional, and resilient. Significant progress was made in bridge renewal and rehabilitation projects across the country. Works on the Wendalide Bridge, supported through a budget allocation of 10 million, have advanced steadily, with expenditures reaching 3.4 million during the financial year. The Tamavua Bridge project, funded by JICA, also progressed successfully, with approximately 1.7 million expended. In Tabuini, construction continued on Balili, Sungulu 1, 2, and 3 bridges, with expenditures reaching 3.3 million against a total budget of 7.8 million. Additional funding has been secured to complete Narele and Nagai bridges during the upcoming financial year. Preparatory works have been completed for replacement crossings in Serua, Lasalasi, and Rambi Island, which contracts expected to be awarded shortly. In addition, FRA has completed the planning and procurement activities for the installation of 20 box culvert crossings, representing an investment of approximately 6.6 million. These culverts will be installed. Culvert crossings will be installed across key locations in Ovalau, Viti Levu, Northern Division, improving flood resilience and maintaining access for our rural communities. Honourable Speaker, under the new capital program, progress has been made in terms of the Reabuchia Road dredge works, Nasoso Wanimbuku Link Road, Burotu Namuma Road upgrade, and ongoing works along the Sangani and Bua corridors. The new community program also delivered important community-based infrastructure upgrades through the allocation of 22 million, with the utilization rate of 86%. This supported the construction of bus shelters, footpaths, foot frontage ceiling works, school access roads, and village road improvements. Climate resilience remains a key priority for government in terms of resilience of roads. Seal extensions and vulnerable roads have been upgraded, strengthening infrastructure resilience through coastal regions. Urban infrastructure improvements were also undertaken across Fiji, helping to improve road quality, reduce traffic bottlenecks, and strengthen economic productivity. Recognizing the importance of tourism to Fiji's economy, the authority also continued development of strategic tourism road projects, including Waialoko, Enamanu, and Biao Sebu. These investments will improve access to tourism destinations and programs. In addition, detailed design work were undertaken for future widening projects of Fletcher Road and the Road, while planning continued for key transport corridors, including Vesari Langere, bypass Nasekula Wailevu, and the phase upgrade of Rotsukun Road. For 26-27, the FRA has been allocated a total of 369 million, comprising 15.7 for operational expenditure and 354 million for capital investment. A significant allocation of 108 million has been dedicated to maintaining our existing infrastructure assets. Recognizing the importance of road safety, government has also allocated 8.5 million for road safety initiatives, including marking improvements, targeted safety measures across the national road network. Fiji's road network currently consists of approximately 6,375 kilometers of roads, 1,388 bridges and crossings, and 32 jetties. During the coming financial year, approximately 21.6 has been allocated to refurbish and replace 13 priority bridges, including Wendalive, Cornivia, Getwood Bridge, Balili, Songulu Bridges, and Nalele. Upgrading Cornivia Bridge will be treated as a priority, given the access situation to Suva. The bridge also serves as a critical transport link for communities. As already mentioned, crossing and culvert upgrades will be continued across the country. Maritime infrastructure also remains equally important for island and maritime communities. The FRA will continue rehabilitation works on Savu-Savu, Waiavu, Ellington jetties, while progressing construction of the Vunikura, Korlevu jetties funded by the People's Republic of China. Improving connectivity also remains a key government priority. As already mentioned, the Reavutia, Nasau, Wakarua, Nasau Sawitanga, Gilai, and the Nasau Nai Wakaru in Bua. These projects will provide safer and more reliable access to schools. Mr. Speaker, sir, community infrastructure investments will also continue, including the construction of new bus shelters throughout the various divisions. Government has allocated 2 million for coastal protection works along vulnerable road corridors and a further 3 million for seal extension works. These investments will protect critical infrastructure from coastal erosion. We have also mentioned the critical bridges project, the ongoing works regarding the priority bridges, Lami, Menrukutu, Sambeto, and VCC. These bridges are essential in terms of our access. In addition, the People's Republic of China funded Bonua Level's project, valued at approximately 300 million, is currently under contract bidding and is expected to significantly improve transport connectivity across the island. Moving on to the water sector, Water Authority was allocated 284.4 million during the 2025-26 budget, for comprising 132 million for operational and 151 for capital expenditure. The authority had utilized 136 million in capital investments. One of the major achievements is the 4,947 new water connections, 241 new wastewater connections. In Central Division, the Totonga Reservoir Replacement Project in Levuka, valued at 2.3 million, which significantly improved water security for approximately 2,800 residents, was completed. Nangali Village Water Mains Project, Western Division, the Mate Road Water Extension. All these projects contribute to the significant improvements in water access for our population. One of the key main ones too is the Tamabua Package Water Treatment Plant. This is currently under construction stage, designed to strengthen water production capacity for Suva areas, and the elevated Princess Road Water Supply Project, which will provide reliable 24-hour water supply to approximately 14,000 residents as we move forward. Honourable Speaker, the government remains committed to ensuring that rural communities share equally the benefits of national development, and Water Authority continues to contribute to rural water projects across the region. In addition to the rain harvesting water program, a lot has been raised about the skills issue regarding our people. The Water Authority has launched an important apprenticeship program in partnership with FNU. A total of 86 apprentices, including 30 women and 56 men, have commenced structured training and employment within the Water Authority of Fiji. Honourable Speaker, building on these achievements, the coalition government has allocated a total of 291 million to the Water Authority of Fiji for the 26-27 financial year. Allocation comprises 132 million in operational and 157 million in capital expenditure. Largest share of capital funding is allocated to the water program, which receives 81.3 million. This funding will support the upgrading of treatment plants, water sources, pipelines, and distribution networks. One of the key projects in the Central Division, as I've already mentioned, is the Suva water mains upgrade, valued at 18 million, which will strengthen water security for approximately 15,000 Fijians. The government has also allocated 2 million for design works associated with the Rawa River Water Supply Scheme, Stage 2, which will eventually double the treatment capacity of the Viria Water Treatment Plant and benefit approximately 160,000 residents in the Suva-Nosori corridor. Government has also allocated 3 million for the Critical River Crossing Program, designed to protect vital water infrastructure from flood damage and improve service reliability. In the Northern Division, investments in new reservoirs, trunk mains, and water supply improvements will support future population growth. Reducing non-revenue water, as we have already alluded to in the House, remains a key priority. 2.7 million has been allocated to leak detection, pressure management, and network improvements. In addition, 15.6 million has been allocated to the wastewater program, an increase of 3.3 million over the previous year. A major component of this investment is the Denarau Island Infrastructure Upgrade Program, allocated 6 million. Honourable Speaker, the government remains committed to supporting rural communities. $10 million has been allocated under the Rural Water Program, working closely with the Ministry of Lands Program on boreholes development to spread the benefits of water access across our rural communities. And 8 million has been allocated under the emergency program. Honourable Speaker, the operational budget, as already mentioned, 132 million. It provides for repairs and maintenance, fuel, treatment of chemicals, and very important in terms of our employees. As you can see, they work through day and night and also through rain, sun and rain. Before I move on, I think it's very important at this stage to correct some of the misinformation which had been shared to us by the opposition. One of the major misinformation which is being spread, not only here, but also through the public, through the media, is about the debt situation. The debt situation, I'm not sure whether they read the budget documents on it. For example, if you go to charges on account on public debt, overseas loans, interest payments, if you look at that, there's a list of approximately 68 projects there, 68 loans. And the majority of these was before we came in. And not only that, these are ongoing projects. At least 50 out of the 68 listed were from the last government or initiated by them, and approximately 16 under the coalition government. Some of these are ongoing projects, as I already mentioned. And the opposition needs to stop misleading Fiji about debt. Stop misleading Fiji about debt. Not only the opposition, but also all the parties who have been registered, who are not in this house. They continue to mislead the nation about debt. And the other thing about debt, I mean, when you talk about debt, it's funding development. That's what needs to be clear. It's funding development. As we move on, please read the budget document properly. And the other one, they continue to mislead the people of Fiji about this coalition government as being the worst government in terms of debt and financial management. Let me just say this. I mean, if you, it's in here. It's in here. If you, number one, debt under Bainimarama rule rose from 2.8 billion in 2006 to 9.7 billion in 2022, an increase of 6.9 billion. Right? So, if you break that down from 2014 to 2022, during the Fiji First, maybe you do want to dissociate yourself from the 2006, 2014 to 22, 4.08 billion to 9.7 billion, an increase of 5.62 billion debt. And for the coalition government, under the coalition, 9.7 billion to 12.5 billion, increase of 2.8 billion. So it's nothing extraordinary, like you're putting it up to be. Come on. You know, you're going on about dramatic language. The economy is collapsing and all sorts of things. The finances are in chaos. No. I mean, just read that and you can see. And if you look at table 15, record revenues have been collected under this government. Record revenues from 2023 to 2027. You know, it ranges from 3.6 billion, 24, 25, 4.4 billion, while under the previous government, they never reached that in terms of revenue collection. So those are, you know, those are record revenues under the coalition government. And under Fiji First, the mediocre revenues and record net deficit. They had a record net deficit compared to the last 3 years of the coalition. Fiji First in 2021, they had a 1.047 billion deficit. 21-22, 1.22 billion compared to the coalition government 23-27, 1.045 billion deficit, which is less. Yes, I know, but the Honorable Alvin Maharaj is saying that under this government, the Fiji experienced the worst deficit, which is just factually incorrect. It's just misleading, you know. And debt, if you look at the debt as a percentage of GDP, 2006, it was 53.8% to 2022, 91.8%. 53.8% to 91.8%. A record debt as a percentage of, while 2026, the coalition government has reduced that to 82%. Right? And also, if you look at the total principal loan repayment, the highest ever was Fiji First government. 674 million in 2021-2022, while in 2026-27, under the coalition government, it reduced to 436 million, a reduction of 238 million, which all points to prudent financial management. You know, it's not irresponsible, it's not chaos, but it's prudent financial management. And just going back to some of the issues raised by the opposition, Honorable Premila Kumar is criticizing the writing off of student debt. So you are suggesting that we bring back the student debt and running after all these students to pay their debt. Is that what you want? I mean, that is totally anti-student, you know. And the students need to know about that you will chase them to pay their debt. And she also raised about court case costs. The budget covers court case costs. Of course, we have to cover it because a lot of those court cases originated from your time. From your time. For example, one of the MSF cases, they have been asked to pay, I don't know, maybe close to $500,000. It's from the Fiji First government time. And Fiji Roads Authority, there's another one there, approximately 27 million. It originates from your time. So we have to budget for your mistakes. Yeah? So that's and Honorable Sanjay Kipal wants the VAT removed. I mean, if you remove that, this is just totally financially nonsensical. Yeah. How will you raise revenue? Come on. So we need to talk sense here, and Honorable Rina Sharma is not here. He stated USP students are eating noodles and biscuit. They're eating noodles and biscuit. One of the main reasons for that was because the USP dining hall was closed by who? And under which government? During the Fiji First, under the Vice Chancellor appointed by you guys. And Honorable Ketan Lal, continues to praise Fiji First and the leadership of Honorable Baini Marama. You continue to praise. I mean, can't you think rationally, please, for once? Because when the Baini Marama coup happened in
Can the
2006,
minister bring his intervention to an end, please? Yeah.
so when the Baini Marama coup happened in 2006, 350 million EU funding allocated for restructuring, modernization of mills, improved farm practices, and diversified livelihoods in the sugar industry was cut off. I mean, so can you think rationally instead of blindly following? Blindly following, because we just need to be truthful, yeah. And Honorable Alvik Maharaj, I don't know why he's criticizing Fiji Airways, because a lot of the Fiji Airways loans is from which time? It's from Fiji First time. He was part of that. And the directors he criticizes, the majority are commercial people, professional people, not political appointees. And it is very important that we support Fiji Airways because that is the lifeline of tourism in our nation.
Thank you.
Of course, and I support Labatt.